So now that I'm on a little roll here, one thing is you can tell your Democrat representatives in this area that it's okay to vote against the budget. And you know, people like, if you've looked at the last, I think the last 10 years or so, every Democrat has just fallen in line and voted for the budget. Well, of course we have to, you know, we got to get these extra votes. I voted against the budget when I was in the legislature because it cut education. So I'm not going to vote for it. You figure out another way to get votes. So when you talk, you know, our local legislators are very good. They're much better than the other legislators, and they care about education. They really do. But they have a mindset that they can't threaten their vote on the budget. So tell them otherwise when you're talking to them. It's their vote. They represent you. Just like the second thing that you can do is if you are, if you're a teacher or schoolroom administrator, you're already doing this. But if you're in real estate, restaurant, business, you know, whatever you do, in insurance, technology, you probably have an organization that represents you in Sacramento. And you should go to that, your local organization, and tell the Half Moon Bay realtors or the local insurance folks here, these other local groups, that as a member, I want to know why we as a local association aren't telling our state association that, you know, our business will mean nothing if we don't fix the schools. And we want you as an association to prioritize schools. And I think if local folks did that around the state, and the California Association of Realtors made one of their top agenda items more funding for education, you'd have more funding for education in a second. So that's the other thing you could do to work locally to affect the interest group. So if you hear my answer, there's the elected officials make the decision, so you need to pressure them. But the way the world works now in DC and Sacramento is the interest groups play such a role in what those elected officials do. So why don't we lobby the interest groups to do things? And so you have power over that. The local realtors here should pressure the state realtors about their views on education.
When you say fix the schools, are you referring to a lot of our discussion, essentially all of our discussions have been about funding the schools?
Yes.
To what degree are you speaking about this as funding the existing manifestation of the schools, or what else gives efficiency, effectiveness, other elements that need to come into play?
Absolutely. I'm glad you're there, because this has been more focused on money, and I'm glad it has in a way, because like my comments about private universities, you can't have a first-rate education system without first-rate dollars. That having been said, the school system is in need of a lot of reforms, and so you know, very quickly, first of all, we need to be able to measure what's going on in our schools, and we've made a lot of progress on the data system that can do that. You know, the overall point that has been talked about with Race to the Top that has a lot of merit is we need reforms that are kid-focused, not adult-focused. And so we do need to make this a school system more about where we need to make the customer happy and the kid, and that is, this is not about making sure this district is happy. And this is what the Obama administration was getting at, that allow kids to move across and find a school that's right for them, and there's a lot of reforms associated with that. The reason I've supported the charter school movement is not that I think, you know, charter schools are the answer, or else that you know, we should put all our focus on charters, but I think charter schools can be a model for how to change the whole school system, and that is deregulated, allow for this control, and also this idea of empowering the parent and choice. And then the other area of reforms, and I don't want to contradict my effort to bring everyone together, but the teachers are the most important part of education system. And so, you know, I have some strong views that the teachers union doesn't like. On the flip side, I think I'm more aggressive than the teachers union in terms of teacher pay. I mean, I think teachers should be the highest paid government employees, and right now, based on their education, they're the lowest paid. So I think teachers should get paid a lot more, but then I think it should be a very professional-based work situation, where if you're a great teacher, you know, that should be recognized, and if you're not as good, that should be recognized. So I think you get what I'm saying. There's some huge need for reforms there as well. I will just note, though, I find it really interesting that not Lenny, but a lot of business folks say, I'm not going to give any more money until there's, you know, merit pay or you know, performance pay. But yet they're fine with giving money to the military or to the police department or to all these other government services. So the problems that everyone focuses in on education are public sector problems, you know, and some reason education gets the brunt of it. So we need a lot of reforms in education, but most of those reforms are reforms that are needed throughout government, and that is really more of a, you know, are we doing well? If we're doing well, we should, that should be, you know, continued. If it's not doing well, we should do something differently, as opposed to sort of the public sector mentality is you just keep going as things are no matter what.
I don't have children in school. I'm not familiar with a lot of aspects that educators are, but I have a question on the funding for schools. If I'm not mistaken, there's different levels that districts are funded at, and there's a rural district, there's more metropolitan, they get higher funds than rural.